And good morning. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report. MLB afternoon podcast, and then we'll have a baseball tonight podcast. We'll do the Royals and Yankees, that game, and Dodgers host the Padres. This game, Tigers will play the Guardians at 12:08. First baseman Spencer Torkelson, Trey Sweeney, Will Averitt, Curly Carpenter. Carpenter plays right field, and Will Vest. Pitcher, watch out for Jason Foley. Jason Foley is a pitcher. The closer, he has 28 saves, ERA of 3.15. Riley Green is also a player to watch out for. He's one of their best. He is a outfielder. Probably should have been on the offensive outfield, on the offensive players, but he's also a player to watch out for. Foley is not a great closer, but other things in the pen can help them be an elite bullpen. The Tigers are not as elite bullpens as some other teams. The Cleveland Guardians, not winners of the AL Central, not quite as good as they were to begin the year, but still very good. Bo Naylor and Josh Naylor are players to watch out for. Stephen Kwan, Jose Maria, 32, remains one of the best baseball players in today's game. And Emil Claus is the best closer in baseball. First pitch between starting pitchers for the Tigers will have Tyler Holt on the mound, and Tanner Bieber will go for the Guardians. Tyler Holt goes for the Tigers. First pitch between the Tigers and Guardians, 12:08 and 1:08 Eastern. The Mets and Phillies play the second game at 3:08. Players to watch out for: second baseman Jose Iglesias, first baseman Pete Alonso, and starting pitcher, Phillies key players. We just gave you the Mets. Kyle Schwarber hit 48 home runs and had 98 RBIs. Alex Bowman had knocked in 97. Bryce Harper is a player to watch out for. Trey Turner, Brandon Marsh can be very good when he's on. Pitcher today will be Zach Wheeler. And for the Phillies, and Kodai Senga will go for the Mets. Game time, 3:08. Football games today. Mizzou plays Texas A&M on the road, which means Mizzou will play its first road game test against Texas A&M. Mizzou is number 9. Players to watch out for: Brady Cook, Marcellus Reed. He leads between the two quarterbacks with 6 touchdowns, and Cook has 4 with 1 interception. Running back Norrell Moss is Nate Norrell is very good for Missouri, and for the Texas A&M it is Levon Moss. He's at the running back for Texas A&M. He's a very good player. Defensive players for Missouri: Johnny Walker is a player to watch out for. Marcus Ratcliffe is a player to watch out for on Texas A&M. This game airs at 11, the only ranked game of the day. Mizzou is 9, Texas A&M is 25. Kicks at 11, Texas A&M by 2.5. Might take Missouri 28, Texas A&M 21. Kansas State has a bye. We'll do their preview next week. We'll catch up on Kansas State's season later this week. We'll also catch you up on Kansas State's game this week. Kansas will play Arizona State. Kansas has really struggled. Jaden Daniels hasn't been the same. He has 8 INTs and 93rd in quarterback rating, just 5 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Devin Neal has been good for the Jayhawks. Luke Grimm needs somebody to throw the ball to. Kobe Bryant has been good. Miles Rojas is good for Arizona State. KU plays Arizona State, 7 o'clock, ESPN2. I think it's a sneaky game, but Auburn, Georgia, even though Auburn's 2-3, could be a sneaky game. They came up close against Oklahoma. Pat Thorne needs to be better for the Auburn Tigers. Carson Beck, quarterback for the Bulldogs, and running back Auburn, Jaquez Hunter, Travis Etienne for Georgia, Calvin Libbert Smith on the Tigers wide receiver, Auburn. Georgia's defense, Nazir Stackhouse, and linebacker Edwin Estate. DJ James, the cornerback, who's recorded an interception, and Jalen Simpson, a safety, who's also recorded an interception. Ole Miss needs to stay in the playoffs. I'll lean toward Ole Miss. South Carolina, though, has the top 30 in defense. Kenyon Yard plays for Ole Miss. Ole Miss by 8.5. That game kicks at 2:30. Ole Miss needs to stay in the playoff racing after losing last week to unranked Kentucky. Michigan and Washington, another good game. Washington is favored by 1.5, but Michigan is 10. Michigan won this last matchup from last year. It's a rematch from the playoff perspective, but it's not so much from the same teams. Davis Warren for quarterback, Michigan. Running back Juwan Cullum for the Denzel. Boston has 412 yards in 5 games. He will hope to lead Washington to the win. Obviously, the quarterback who stands the experience to watch him. He is very accurate. Like coach on the field, Will Rogers, we're going to have to do a great job. Him down their talent. I think Coleman is a kid that is a great running back. Better than obviously they're explosive with Daniel Boss. Obviously, Gills Jackson, who was watching here, also is going to be a challenge, said Michigan coach, but we're going to be up to it. Mason Grimm, defensive tackle, and Will Johnson, players to watch out for Michigan. Will Johnson Jr. is a player for Washington Huskies. Keaton Johnson, defensive tackle, junior. Kick is at 6:30. And that's the other game. Close enough by favorites to win. Washington is favored though by 1.5 at 6:30. College football. We had a rout against Oregon and Michigan State, 31-10. UNLV and Syracuse met up in a great one. Syracuse would be up 31-21. Field goal would make it 31-24. And a blocked punt scored that touchdown to make it 31-31. And UNLV would be out of the road with a field goal 41-38. But it wasn't enough as Syracuse scored the touchdown to win 44-41. Orangemen are 4-1 and UNLV is 4-1 as well. Orangemen being the surprise. That's football on college last night. That's college football, and that's Sam on Sports.